Hi again, everyone. So in this phase of the assignment, you will be meeting your group once again, and what you will be doing is writing an essay as a group. On your screen, you will see this Google Doc style page of sorts, and all members of your group can start typing here, and everyone can see what everyone else is typing. But what will happen is that this tool will track how much each of you are writing. So even if one of your peers deletes something that you have written, we will still know how much each student has contributed to the assignment in total. So as a group, what you have to do is produce a total of a 300 to 400 word essay over the course of a week. This phase will be open for 7 days, and you have to log in for a minimum of 4 out of the 7 days to make changes to this group essay. Of course, you can always log in more than the minimum 4 days, and you can log in as many times a day as you want, but to get full marks, you need to log in for at least 4 out of the 7 days. They have to be 4 different days. So once again, you can click this show button if you would like at the top to get a recap of what you wrote in the previous phases if you just forgot what you did earlier. And at first, when you start logging in to work on this group essay, your changes will be more thematic, so you will be changing the content of the essay. But towards the end of the week, you will be then editing the grammar, the flow, and just the regular syntax of your word choices. But one thing that in this phase you are not doing is picking one thesis from your entire group and elaborating on that. Instead, what we want you to do here is to try and reach consensus on the wider topic at hand. So half the people in your group watched the video that considered one perspective of the topic, while the other half watched a different video that considered a totally different perspective of the same topic. So you now have to try and figure out a way to take those different perspectives and make them meet. You're trying to write a new thesis that encapsulates the merit in all of your team members' points and write a paragraph on that thesis. So, for example, if some of you remember the peer scholar topic from last semester, if your general topic was legalization of marijuana, some people in your group may have watched a pro-legalization video, while some people may have watched a con-legalization video. So in this phase, you're not just taking one of those two perspectives and elaborating on that. Instead, you're trying to find a way to reach middle ground of sorts. So take all of your ideas and try and combine them in a way so you take the best of everyone's ideas. So, for example, in the marijuana example right here, a good middle ground maybe is that, perhaps marijuana should be legal for some recreational purposes or in some controlled settings, but illegal otherwise. I'm not too familiar with the topic, and this thesis isn't entirely super strong in itself, but you get the point of what we mean by reaching a middle ground. So don't pick the best thesis and just write an essay on that. And we know this is really challenging, but we also believe that you learn by doing. So if something is super challenging and you keep trying doing it again and again, it becomes much easier. Also, we know group work is difficult and many of you hate it. So we aren't trying to torture you in this assignment by adding this phase in, but our rationale is that in today's world, it's increasingly common for two people living on entirely different parts of the world to work on one project. People have written entire textbooks without having to ever meet once. And even this very software, the way we designed it, is me, Steve, and our engineer, Ken, we didn't meet every day. We just worked on it at home, and we went back and forth with each other. We would write our details and our ideas, and we would exchange them, and that's how this came to be. So we're trying to teach you similar skills. Once the deadline for this phase is over, you will then be done the entire assignment, and it will just automatically push you to the next phase. And there, in phase 3, you will get a chance to reflect and fill out a peer evaluation for all your peers. And that is phase 2 for